cold, but his face is turning red. This guy's not doing stops and starts. Claude, what the hell are you waiting for? Claude says, Bobby, Jacques Plante don't do stops and starts. Bobby said, you're not Jacques Plante. Get out there, go home. He did stops and starts pretty quick. You're not Jacques. That's what he said. Jacques Plante don't do stops and starts. He said, you're not Jacques Plante.
So, after that, did Cyr fit on the team, or was he
always?
Oh,
yeah. Well, yeah, he was great all the time. Not only after that, he was okay. No, Claude was a. Everybody seemed to come in. I don't know what Hugo and Bobby did. They brought the right guys in.
Yeah.
The story goes here is that he was, when he lived over here on the corner where Tommy Garlitz lives there now, I used to go and talk to him. You know, I used to walk by there, or he'd be in his garage, and I'd, go over there and talk to him. And one day he was cleaning it out. He had a box, it's probably as big as this table, and he was in there cleaning all his stuff, all memorabilia, and he had a whole bunch of stuff stacked there. And I says, well, what are you going to do with all this stuff? I'm throwing it out, he says. Tired of all this crap, he says. I don't need all this junk, he says. So anyway, it ended up that picture was there, and one of his masks. The last mask he made. So I took it. I took that and the mask.
Where's the mask?
Anyway, just wait a minute. So anyway, I took the mask, and it was all taped. Like, it had white tape on it. I had it hanging on that wall there. And my son had a girlfriend, and she used to sleep down here, but she couldn't stand that mask, so I had to move it. But I had cleaned it all up. It was like brand new again. I didn't paint it or anything. It was just the paint that was on there and all the tape. I took it and I scrubbed all the tape, the residue of the tape off and everything. So one day, God, I forget, 10 years ago, he come to me and he says, have you got that mask? In fact, it was when Kamloops was putting on the Memorial Cup. I think it was the last time they were putting on the Memorial Cup as a team, and I says, yeah, I still got it. He says, can I borrow it from you? I says, why? He says, because they wanted in Kamloops, they wanted to know if I had anything of mine, and I knew you had that mask. So I says, am I going to get it back? He says, yeah, no problem. I says, I don't believe you. I says, am I going to get it back? Yeah, I'll make sure you get it back. So anyway, okay. So good-hearted old Kenny here gives it to him. So anyway, it got to Kamloops. So I guess somebody from the thing in Toronto seen it. The Hall of Fame in Toronto. It's in Toronto.
They're old Army planes, and you sat on a bench. They weren't the warmest trips in the world, or the most pleasant riding. As a matter of fact, the smoke eaters were coming back one time. The pilot got lost, and Duke Scotellaro got him to follow the highway so they could land in Spokane. He didn't know where he was. He was completely lost.
They seem to be slapping the puck around so much there, but I'm of an old school, of course. We had the puck and looked up, and the way we had to even practice hockey being younger there is you packed the puck and you didn't look at the puck. You looked at the guy's eyes and you did this way here. And now they get it bang against the boards. Don't slap that damn thing out. They're only going to bring it back in again. But I'm from the old school. I'm not saying they're wrong. But they're slam bashing it around every bang, 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 bang. Come on, you guys. Can't somebody make a pass somewhere?
Yeah.
I think my work ethic really came into play when I played for Tommy McVie in Portland, Maine. He was the old school coach, but fun. And he was tough on us, but I kind of tie him in with Bobby Crum the way Bobby used to coach my dad. My dad used to tell me stories how hard they had to work. And Tommy was the same way. He didn't like to lose. And when we lost, even if we lost by 1 goal, he was angry. But then when we won, he'd always give us a pat on the back. And he would pat us on the back when we'd lose, but he'd be mad. And he always taught myself and my teammates, you learn by your mistakes. but don't make the same mistake twice. And I think that's my fondest memories of playing. I mean, I got to wear the jersey 15 times in that league, and it was an unbelievable feeling to be able to do that. But you learn who put you there, and it's being from the place that you grew up in.
Yeah.
Trail put me there.
Yeah.
I had to work hard for it, but Trail put me there.
Yeah, born in Trail, born and raised up in the Gulch, just up from the St. Anthony's Church. And, you know, growing up, a lot of kids in the neighborhood played a lot of street hockey together, and up the Tadnack Pond that froze over during the winter time, learned how to skate up there. My big break was a local fella, Pete McIntyre was his name. He was in administration up at the smelter, and he took a liking to me. He kind of followed what I was doing in at that particular time, and I like telling the story where he'd send out a message for my dad that he wanted to meet with him in the company office the following day. And my dad didn't know what it was going to be all about. And he came home, and boy, he was just shaking in his boots, you know, complaining to my mother, saying, you know, what did I do wrong? Am I going to be losing my job? And I could remember that. He was at the kitchen table just shaking. So anyways, I didn't know what it was all about. And naturally, met the next day with Pete McIntyre, and I came home, and he told me, he says, you know, this Mr. McIntyre, he's asking me all these questions. He's asking me about you, you know, what you're planning to do. And I literally told him I didn't know. So he says, well, what do you want to do? I told him, well, Pa, you know, I'd like to maybe play junior hockey, but somewhere where I can also go to school. And he says, well, where would you like to go? And at that particular time, St. Mike's, Toronto St. Michael's, was probably one of the better teams in junior hockey in Canada, but also they provided you with an education there. So he went back up, and they met again, and he told me, yeah, okay, this is where he would like to go. So Pete McIntyre basically said, okay, let me look into it, unknowing that he was a personal friend of Conn Smythes, who was naturally the owner and general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs. So he phoned Mr. Smythe up, and he says, absolutely, you know, his choice, Toronto Marlboros or Toronto St. Mike's, and we'll look after everything. And from there, that's how it started. I left home when I was 16 years old, went back east and played junior hockey in Toronto for 3 years. And, you know, from there it ended up playing 1 year of senior hockey, ended up with Chatham at the end, and then turned pro after that year.
Turning inside the Soviet zone is Tryakov, being followed by Lenardin. Pass in front of the goal, Lenardin, and shooting scores! And for the Smokies, a wild demonstration on the ice. Seth Martin skated the length of the ice.
You grew up in a small town, learned to play in the street. Early winters and sunrise, together we'd meet. Now he ain't no girl, and he sure ain't no Gretzky. But this kid had a dream, hopes one day he could once be for the love of the game. For the love of the game we played, the memories, the friends we
In January of 1957, the Trail Minor Hockey Association director Charlie McLean organized Canada's first ever Minor Hockey Week at the Cominco Arena. The idea behind the Minor Hockey Week was to allow every one of the teams to play at least one game in the evening so that the parents could come out and see how the child was progressing. The Minor Hockey Week slogan was, "Don't send your boy to play hockey, take him."
There were mountain magicians, trails hockey heroes and legends. They played with